Kai Cenat is a streamer who has blown up over the past few years for his comedy and energetic personality, and has recently found himself in a controversy. So, considering he'd be pushed more in the YouTube algorithm, I thought it'd be appropriate if I broke down how Kai Cenat went from a young kid posting comedy skits on Facebook to shutting down all of New York City. Kai Cenat III was born on December 16, 2001 in the Bronx, New York, in the backstage of a little person boxing event. Kai did not have it easy growing up, and after his parents split, he spent time living in a shelter in Georgia, before eventually moving back to the Bronx. When Kai was young, he always knew he wanted to make content, and early on started posting comedy skits on Facebook. At first, he only had himself, his alt accounts, and a few friends engaging with his content, but as he got older, his skits got better and he gained a decent following. Eventually, he ended up following in his idol FuzzyTube's footsteps and moved to YouTube, continuing a similar type of content doing pranks and skits. At this point, Kai was in college, and this is where he got his first taste of success, with some of his ding-dong ditch pranks reaching millions of views. One day, after being chased out of the building by some angry students, Kai sat down eating a hamburger, when all of a sudden, someone ran over and stole his food. Kai started yelling at him, but after hearing the man's stomach rumble, he sat him down and found out he was a YouTuber as well, and the two instantly became friends. This YouTuber's name was Phantom, and after multiple collabs and giving him as much food as he wanted, Phantom pushed for Kai to be part of his content group, AMP. Kai was eventually brought in as an official member of the team, and after a few videos and an inspirational dive into a fountain, he proved his worth and quickly became an integral part of the group. Kai kept blowing up, and after pissing off half the university with his pranks, he decided he was done terrorizing college students and wanted to prank civilians instead, so he dropped out of college. With even more time to do prank videos and work with AMP, Kai was blowing up even more and decided it was time to branch out and start a Twitch channel. This may have been the best decision Kai has ever made. Because of his following on YouTube, Kai had a decent amount of viewers when he started, with about 1,500 on his first stream, and Kai grew his viewer count to more than 20,000 in his first year of streaming and has never looked back. His hilarious personality and collaborations kept people watching, leading him to being crowned Streamer of the Year in 2022. Unfortunately, his rise to fame didn't come without some hiccups. Because Twitch is a site with constantly changing standards and morals that aren't relayed to anyone, Kai experienced some unexplained bans during his rise, but these were never permanent. You would have thought that the random bans would be enough, but no. Twitch continued its weird treatment of Kai and never recognized his milestones or offered him an exclusive contract, which many in the same position have gotten. Many streamers have publicly called out the site for its favoritism, and some have even claimed Twitch was racist, but I think it's because Twitch doesn't like people under 5'4". As we've seen in the past, Kai has not let adversity hold him back, and following being crowned Streamer of the Year, he had the most successful subathon in Twitch history in February of 2023. Kai was now the most subbed to person on Twitch, but what did he get for this accomplishment? An ugly pair of sneakers. But how did we get to a point where Kai was shutting down New York City? Was it a form of retaliation against Twitch, or a way to raise publicity? No and no. All Kai Cenat wanted to do was give back to the people of New York. Kai again found himself following in FuzzyTube's footsteps and had a failed meetup with his fans. It all started when Phantom and Kai got together and decided they were going to do an in-person giveaway. Not much planning went into it, obviously, but the groundwork was laid out. They would go to Union Square at 4 o'clock on Friday, August 4th, and give away PlayStations, PCs, and other gaming equipment. They announced it on stream just a few days before and talked to chat about how many people would show up, even joking that NYPD may have to get involved. Phantom and Kai believed it was going to be pretty calm, thinking only around 500 people would show up, but as we know, they were very wrong. This became evident when they showed up, seeing Union Square full of fans. After running through and trying to start the giveaway, it was clear that the crowd was too rowdy, and even as Kai begged them to calm down, it was no use. NYPD showed up to the scene trying to stop the mayhem, but now there was a crowd of up to 10,000 people blocking rush hour traffic, and some even destroying property. As we know now, Kai Cenat was apprehended by the police and is facing multiple charges for inciting a riot. Although he was not arrested, it is likely this will not go unpunished, and we even saw fans showing up to his hotel after he was released. This all goes to show the power these influencers have, even if they don't realize it. Although I believe Kai was reckless with his behavior, his intentions were not harmful, and I believe he wanted a tame giveaway, and definitely not all the carnage that ended up happening. It has been a few days since the incident, and we have yet to hear from Kai or his management other than the video they posted about the giveaway, which didn't provide any statement or apology. The question now is, what does the future hold for Kai Cenat? And although that is uncertain, I can make an educated guess on what's going to happen. Assuming the charges do not stick and Kai is able to get back to streaming, as we've seen with many other streamers after big controversies, Kai will likely come back to one of the most viewed live streams ever, and probably an even larger following. It just begs the question of if Kai will use this as a learning opportunity and be more responsible in the future. I personally believe he will, but only time will tell. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As I was finishing up editing this video, Kai Cenat released a statement on YouTube and Twitch discussing the incident, and he was in fact very apologetic and mature in his response. He reiterated that it was never his intention for all of this to happen and disavowed the people destroying property and being violent. He went on to talk about how he needs to be better and put more planning into setting up events like this in order to prevent the worst. We also found out that he will be taking a short break from streaming as he has a court date to attend to, and he hopes that everything will run smoothly and he can get back to streaming as soon as possible.